is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Moviegoers Live Show. Just did another one last night, and here we are yet again, back on the show once again. And then I have literally another episode coming up Thursday. So, yeah, this show has been quite on the roll, you guys, and I'm happy that you guys are enjoying the show. I enjoy doing it for sure. So, and tonight's guest is a brand new face to the channel. Awesome content creator, does a lot of awesome movie reviews. So please help me welcome to the channel, Mr. Sully Streams. How's it going, Sully?
Hey, Luke, what's going on?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. I appreciate you bringing me on here. I know we've talked a little bit just over text. We've never actually had a chance to meet face to face or, over video chat. So it's good to meet you. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to have you here. So, and on my left, a link in the description below that goes to Sully's channel. So please go subscribe to his channel. Go give him some love. He deserves it. And why not for me? Hit that subscribe button for me as well. And tap on that bell so that way you guys don't miss a second more of this action here coming your way very soon. And tap on that thumbs up as well. So, but Sully, how was your day been, my man?
It was good. Just work per usual, but I will tell you, I little tired because I saw last night Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, and the review embargo for that one goes up on like midnight, so I was up getting my review out like immediately. So I had a late one, but it was good.
That's good. I mean, at least you were able to get it done though, so that's a good thing. Like,
yeah, I try to put out like 2 to 3 videos a week or something. So getting something like that out like that far early in the week is a nice little weight off the shoulders. So,
yes, it is. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be seeing it until the weekend, of course, because I don't have like that kind of early access kind of thing. So I'll see it over the weekend. I mean, I was gonna think about doing it this either Thursday or Friday, but I have stuff going on, so it's like I can't do it then.
Yeah.
So
I'm lucky enough that we'll see if I actually get in because it's so hyped up. But I'm lucky enough that I'm seeing The Flash Thursday night.
Nice.
So we'll see how it goes. I've heard things all over the place when it comes to reviews for it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's good myself. I mean, I haven't really been all that excited for The Flash, but
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's good. Like, because everybody else saying it's good, so I'm like, you know what? If y'all are saying it's good, I'll give it a try.
I feel like I keep doing that thing where I kept saying I'm not excited for it now at all, like way in advance before it was coming out, and then of course, like the closer it gets, I'm like, all right, I got to see this thing. So I little bit of a hypocrite on that front because I was acting like I couldn't care less like 6 months ago, but now I'm ready for it.
That's exactly what I was honestly saying about Fast X. Like, I did not care about that movie. Like, Fast 9 was just like, I was just burnt out. Like, I was just done with the franchise because if you guys have seen Fast 9, they get a car on a rocket and they go to space.
It's a superhero movie.
And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But once I saw the trailer and I got to see Jason Momoa playing the villain and being so freaking over the top, I was like, that brings a little bit of optimistic for me. It gives a little bit of more optimism, but I'm like, I'm still not excited for it because it's Fast and Furious.
Well, I think Jason Momoa, like you said, is kind of like the bright spot of that movie. And I kept saying that it looked like he was basically playing the Joker if the Joker only had access to Harry Styles' wardrobe. And and that ended up being kind of the truth. And he did a good job. I don't know if you saw the news coming out of it lately, though, that Vin Diesel was actually mad about his performance. Did you see that recently?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, why are you mad at him? He was the best part of the movie.
I don't know, man. Everything I hear about Vin lately, like it's like I'll see him on talk shows and I think he's like the nicest dude ever, and then the press like interviews don't paint him in the best light. So who knows? But Fast X, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw this. When did it come out? 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Before 2 weeks ago, it was almost like my movie fun fact since I'm such a movie buff and I'm like kind of upset that I broke it. But in anticipation of Fast X, for the first time ever, I watched all the Fast movies. I hadn't seen a single one before 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay.
I know, which I think is like kind of a blind spot. People like, since everyone knows I see everything. I mean, I'm at the movie theater like 3 or 4 times a week at least. So it's like people didn't know how I didn't really get into that franchise at all. But I will say, after seeing it, there is a lot of schlock. There's a lot of crap, but Fast Five is legitimately like one of the best 2000s action movies. I loved Fast Five, but
It's great. I mean, like that was another thing. I had seen all the Fast and Furious movies, but before Fast X, like a couple days before, I did like a big binge of the rest of them because I was like, I need to rewatch all these movies. I haven't seen these movies in a good minute.
yeah.
So I did that, rewatched every single one. I mean, I still haven't rewatched Hobbs and Shaw though, which I think is which is weird. Like, I keep saying I'm gonna rewatch it, but then I never do.
I really dug Hobbs and Shaw. I see some people like having it low in their rankings. I don't really know why. I think it was for me, it was sitting at like number 4 in the whole franchise. Just because like, I don't know. I mean, like I was a kid growing up that loved Statham. Like my dad loved all the Statham like transporter movies and the Mechanic and obviously his stuff with like Guy Ritchie with like Snatch and what's the other one? I'm thinking of Wrath of Man, which is the new one, but I can't
Wrath of
remember the other old one he did. But
Operation Fortune. Like he also was in
that
Operation
too.
Fortune.
Yeah, he so big time collaborator with Guy Ritchie. But so my dad loved that stuff, so I obviously grew up on that stuff. And The Rock, I was a little out on recently, but he kind of continues to be very charismatic in that role. And I don't know how they got David Leitch to direct that. I mean, the guy that did like Atomic Blonde, he was one of the directors for John Wick. He just did Bullet Train. Like the guy, he did Deadpool 2. The guy does like good action comedy. So it almost felt like, I mean, this sounds snobby, but like I just didn't think he would agree to do a fast film. Um, so I mean, I think that might be the most underrated movie in the entire franchise for me.
Well, that's the thing with David Leitch. Like he like not only does he know how to bring good comedy into his films, he knows how to make really awesome action. Like
Yeah,
if you look at Bullet Train, like the action in Bullet Train, even though the film is incredibly chaotic,
yeah.
like that movie, there's so much going on. It's awesome. Like the action is incredible in that movie.
It's hard to balance all of that stuff out, and people forget that. And I feel like, especially while watching one of his films, because he makes it look so easy. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, Bullet Train was like, I've only seen it one time, and it was in the theaters, but I mean, it was a total blast in the cinema.
I think I've watched it about 2 or 3 times since the theater. Like it's one of those films that honestly is very easy to rewatch. Like
Yeah. Well, it's because
like
it's like very stylish. Like it's very fast paced. It's like it doesn't get stale. It's got that like Tarantino flair a little bit to it, and it has like the little name cards like for every character. Like it's kind of just like a very entertaining and easy watch, even though people are like killing each other.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, I mean, even though yes, people are killing each other, but it's honestly kind of relaxing to watch. Like, I know it might be sounding weird by that point, but it's just so much fun to watch. Like,
No, it's fine. One of my relaxing watches is another chaotic movie, which is Pain and Gain from Michael Bay. So, I can't
oh,
really explain that one.
that movie.
I can't explain it. Like that's probably on the top of my list of like guilty pleasure movies, and that like everybody that knows me personally, especially if I ever post anything on like YouTube or Instagram or something being like, what are your favorite guilty pleasure movies? And people that know me will DM me all the time being like, you just asked this so you could tell people to watch Pain and Gain, because I'm always telling people to ask to watch Pain and Gain.
It's very stupid. Like,
It's
it's
so
a
stupid.
very very stupid movie. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's so stupid.
the movie like the movie is pretty funny, but it's also awkward that you're laughing at like a real life story. Like,
Yes, that I try to avoid mentioning that part. Um, but yeah, it is a bizarre true story. But I think it continues to that trend, like kind of going back to the Hobbs and Shaw thing and Fast Saga as a whole, or like Fast Five. I've figured out that like, I mean, not like I figured it out just because I think I've known this for a little bit, but my favorite version of The Rock was like those early 2000s or like mid 2000s where like he wasn't too big of a star yet, where like he had to be the center of attention, he had to be the good guy. Like that Fast Five role like was kind of on the cusp before he became like a mega star. So he didn't mind kind of being like a side character and still the villain. Same with Pain and Gain. He's like goofy as hell and weird in that. Like I don't know if he would have taken that role now.
Right.
But I kind of love that little start of his career, that mid 2000s, early 2010s kind of era of his acting.
And I honestly want him to kind of go back to those basics. I kind of feel like he's getting a bit
Hmm.
too carried away with those really dumb popcorn PG-13 action movies. He's getting a bit too carried away with those kind of things. Like I know it's The Rock and everything, but at the same time, it's like, dude, we've seen you do this like a dozen times.
Yeah. Like that meme that shows him in like a brown shirt in the jungle and people saying like this, like the 4 different movies of him in the brown shirt in the jungle. And you're like, you're not going to believe me, but this is 4 different films.
Yeah, like, and I'm guessing that's referencing The Rundown, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like The Rundown, Jumanji 2, like Center to the, or what is it? Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yeah, Journey to all that stuff. But okay, so wait, here is this. I got to ask you this now because I go back and forth and I waver on this a lot. When it comes to wrestlers turned actor, Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, Dave Batista, what's your ranking there? Who do you think's the best?
The best is a no-brainer for me. It's easily Dave Batista.
Perfect.
Because like even after he did Guardians, he's wanting to go out of that comfort zone and actually taking a lot more serious roles. Like if you remember from earlier this year, Knock at the Cabin, that's one of his more darker takes on like with this acting. That's his best performance by far of his entire career. Like not even a question. Like even with his Batista charisma, like he can also be very, very haunting in that movie.
Oh yeah, I mean he's built like an absolute NFL linebacker, so he definitely carries that presence with him.
Yes, I agree with that, but I still can't overlook him as Drax the Destroyer. Like I love him as Drax. I mean, yes, he kind of is more like the comic relief of the Guardians now, but he's still like, even look at Guardians 3, he's still got heart to him.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think you brought up Knock at the Cabin, going more off his dramatic stuff. I think he leaves a big impact, even though he's only in it for like 5 minutes. I loved his like one scene in Blade Runner 2049, the opening of that.
yes.
I like obviously his more goofy stuff. Like it's hard not to find him super entertaining in the second Knives Out.
Having Glass Onion, Stuber.
Glass Onion. I didn't see that one actually.
Yeah,
but I know people liked it.
Kumail Nanjiani is the Uber driver, and Dave Batista is this like federal agent, I think. But I haven't seen the movie in a while though.
He is in one other thing that I feel like I'm forgetting that I really liked.
I don't know if this is the right one, but this is just a personal guess because this is like another movie that I know he's in is either Spectre or My Spy.
I was gonna say, even though people are a little wishy-washy on it, I had a blast with Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which he's the main guy in.
Oh,
I enjoy the hell out of that.
I forgot about that one, to be honest with you.
Like, I feel like people do. Like, I mean, it makes total sense. Like, it kind of just slipped under the radar, but more so looking forward to his stuff upcoming. Just from kind of knowing what happens later on in the story, I'm looking forward to seeing an expanded role from him in the second Dune. I think that's going to be great.
He was great in Dune, by the way. The first one, he was great. Easily second would easily be John Cena. Like he's just such like. He was one of those actors that honestly took him a while to really find his footing. Like, and he found his footing. Like we know he found his footing when it came to his character of Peacemaker in both the Suicide Squad and his titled show.
Yep.
And I will take this to my dying grave. He was the best part of Fast 9. Like, even though
I like him in Fast 9,
charisma out of him, but when it came to the ending, like you started to feel his character a little bit more. But everybody else, like even Vin Diesel in that movie, was just bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I really enjoy the Peacemaker TV series. I like Suicide Squad. I think Peacemaker for me was the one that kind of like blew me out of the water. Like I thought it was so funny. We were kind of in a lull where I feel like we hadn't gotten like a comedy show in a long time that was like really up to par. Maybe I'm just blanking on something, but and it's one of those things where he's so good at playing that role that like Obviously, we saw him in Fast 10. He kind of just played the peacemaker role again, but it didn't really bother me because he's just so good at it. But yeah, I mean, apparently, I don't know how far along it is or if it's done. We should be getting season 2 of Peacemaker at some point.
We need to get. I need season 2. Like,
yeah, it was a blast. That one was, and it got like surprisingly emotional and deep, which obviously leave it to James Gunn. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the second season of that.
that's another thing that James Gunn is good at doing. He knows how to toy with your emotions. Like, you think one thing is going to happen, but then he kind of just he turns the tables on you.
Yeah,
like
he really does.
So that's something I love about him. Let's hit these comments here really quick. Gravy X Train is in here. What's going on, my friend? Thank
Gravy
you for being
Train.
Here. Jared Runner, an MVP of this channel right here. What's going on, my boy Jared? Seeing Transformers Rise of the Beasts on Sunday. Can't wait to review it. That might be when I'll be seeing Rise of the Beasts. We'll see. I don't know yet. Read Dave Show. What's going on? Dave says Vin. Thank you.
Vin definitely needs to get over it.
Like just listen to the fans. The fans are saying that Jason Momoa was the best part of the movie. Because of the nature of his villainous character. See, Lance is in here. What's going on? Lance says, "What's up, Luke? Just at home playing PlayStation 3 and playing Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Nice. Sounds like a lot of fun." I think, Dave, you're meaning Cocaine Bear, not Shark.
I don't remember. Did they do Shark? I know they talked about, Elizabeth Banks talked about doing Shark. I don't know if there was I think there might have been like a quick Shark, like straight to DVD ripoff or something. I don't know. There might have been. Looking at it like from the poster, it is completely straight to DVD with Cocaine Shark. But hold on. This one is clearly better right here. The Maximum Rampage edition.
Yeah, I love that right there. Maximum Rampage edition. And I love the poster for this.
Did you see what they're doing? You see there's one coming out soon called Crackoon. Like Crack Raccoon.
That looks even more low budget.
Yeah, it looks low budget. It looks like on par with like the Winnie the Pooh horror movie, which don't even get me started about, but
fuck that movie. That movie was awful.
It was awful. It was awful.
And for any of you that prefer Blood and Honey over Cocaine Bear, go home.
There's the door.
Yeah, just get out of here. Look, I know we respect all opinions, but I don't get that, honestly. I don't get it. Because when you clearly look at Cocaine Bear, that movie's a lot more entertaining. Like,
I mean, I think that came out in like early February or something.
They both came out within the same month, both Blood and Honey and Cocaine Bear.
When Cocaine Bear came out, I had so much fun in the theater with it, and it was like the first movie in the year that I had a blast with, like with a live crowd. For like a fleeting moment there, that was my top movie of the year, which is hilarious to say, but it was like for like a week, it was like and then of course it got like quickly unseated by like Air, John Wick, Guardians, Spider-Verse, like you name it. But for like a hot second there, Cocaine Bear was my favorite of 2023.
That was my number 2 when I first saw it, like in theaters with a big crowd. That was my number 2. It was only behind Missing.
Missing is a good one.
But then, of course, you got overtaken by films like, of course, Air, John Wick 4, Spider-Verse, Dungeons and Dragons, in my opinion. I love that movie.
I love that movie, man.
That movie's so much fun. What's another one?
I saw it in the theater I saw it in the theater like 3 times.
I only saw it once. My theater did not keep it for very long. Like, they got rid of it as like when Renfield came out, and I was like, damn it.
But I am a massive Evil Dead fan, so yeah, I was all over Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Rise was great. I loved Scream 6. It's another one. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Which
I didn't see that one. I've heard nothing but good things, but I haven't seen that one yet.
You have to check it out. I mean, when I saw that movie, I told this story numerous times, but I can't help but talk about it. There was this mom that actually brought her very young kids. They looked like 1st or 2nd grade level, and I was like, oh my! And I was watching the movie, like, oh my god! Like, there is some stuff in this movie that is not meant for kids. Like,
it's not R though, right? Is it PG-13?
A very mature PG-13.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, kids should not be learning about this right now. Like, seriously, they should not.
Yeah, I got to
So
check that
weird,
one
but
out. I haven't gotten around to it yet, unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. I mean, Abby Ryder Fortson in that movie. I mean, I know they don't really nominate kids for Oscars, but that is the best performance I've seen from the actress all year long. Like, that is
Eh,
such an incredible performance.
I still wanted a lot of nominations for the for last year. The kid, how am I blanking on his name right now? But the kid from the Fablemans. Um,
Oh, Gabriel LaBelle.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I mean,
loved
I know
that
they don't nominate
performance.
horror films, but I would have at least liked to get some recognition for the kids in the Black Phone.
Hmm.
Like, for crying out loud, Academy, stop getting
Dude,
against horror movies.
those the girl, this kind of blew my mind, and I thought they kind of looked similar, but I don't know, like
Are you talking
that.
about the McGraw sisters?
Yeah, dude, I couldn't
Yeah,
believe.
Violet McGraw from Megan, and then Madeline McGraw from the Black Phone.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, and those kids have bright futures ahead of them in regards to their careers. Like,
They could do some like awesome, like Shining-esque, like sister twin horror movie thing. I can't believe they haven't done any of that yet. Hopefully
they
soon,
need
but
to. Like, they really need
or
to.
like playing the other's double, like something like that. I think that there's like endless
Being like the body
possibilities.
double, basically.
Or
Like,
that, yeah, like literally anything like that. I think would be actually be pretty
oh,
cool.
did a jump. Good God, guys, you guys are saying a lot. Um, Drew, good job, good man,
Drew, my
good
new
man.
number one guy. Thank you very much.
Let's see. Charles Clayton's in the chat. What's going on? Charles says, "How's it going, guys? Just got a theater from seeing Across the Spider-Verse. Absolutely fantastic movie. Yes, it is. It is a great movie. I was gonna say though before we moved on, like with another movie that I liked a little bit more than Cocaine Bear. It's kind of obvious hints on my shirt.
Yeah,
The Super Mario Brothers movie.
so I am a massive Mario fan. Played like every mainline game, like obsessed with pretty much any media or content Mario that I get my hands on. I will say though, uh, obviously I'm talking Mario, just like the Mario franchise as a whole. But if I'm getting specific, I'm a Luigi guy through and through. Just gonna put that out there. I'm a
Fair.
big Luigi's Mansion guy. Every Luigi's Mansion game that they put out, I'm gonna be there day one. And I do. I don't know if you saw this. I put out a video on my channel. Like it was like a little bit of like a video essay about why I think the movie Nintendo needs to make next is a Luigi's Mansion movie. And I think that they know what they're doing, and they teased it so hard with that first section where he breaks off from Mario when they first enter the like Mushroom Kingdom pipe system, and it's just Luigi with the flashlight in the like near the haunted mansion. I'm like, dude, just give me the full thing. Like I'm ready. So hopefully that happens. Charlie Day said he's down for it, so I'll leave it at that. But I need a Luigi's Mansion movie. I'll be over the moon.
Absolutely. I just love that part, like where he just hits a tree branch, he gets flashback, and then he
Yeah.
just throws the dry bombs. Like
The animation is awesome in that. Like
yeah. Oh my God.
I think it's just kind of like a crowd pleasing movie. Like I brought my mom to see it a second time when I was going a second time, and it kind of like it's funny how like the humor kind of changes based on who you're with. Like when I saw it with my fiance the first time, like we still chuckled at this part, but like when I was with my mom, she was dying at that first part where they do their first job and the dog's trying to attack them in the shower, and then like the water goes and like raises the dog up,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
everything goes like crazy and like all shit breaks loose.
Yeah,
I
and then
loved
the
that.
dog, I think it's Francis, I think.
Yeah, Francis.
He just jumps from the shower and tries to attack the Mario Brothers. They just fucking scream, and then they duck
right out the window.
Boom, he's out the window.
Yeah, my mom loves that kind of humor.
Dude, no way. Are they actually killing a dog? Like,
yeah. Well, I love. You knew that they had to keep him around because he gave Luigi the nod at the end of the movie. So
right, exactly.
There's like I will say like I not that I have a love and hate with Illumination, but I there's a lot of things they do that I like. I think I actually like them more than some people care to admit, or anything like that. Because like I'm a total sucker for like Despicable Me and the Minions movies. But they do a lot of really good stuff in that movie. And I think that was the best. I think that was the best animation they have ever put forth into a film.
Not just that, it's like I think honestly it's their best movie by far. Like
Mm-hmm.
like without question. Like I'm sorry, but I'm not a Minions guy whatsoever. Like,
I don't
can't
think a
stand
lot of people are, so that's fine. I don't,
I
I'm in
can't
the
stand them.
minority.
Let's see. Zach, my man Zach, what's up,
Zach,
buddy?
dude. How you doing, buddy?
See, we're getting Waller before Peacemaker season 2. That's right. Yep.
I don't even know if I'm like that excited about Waller. I don't know. I feel like I should be. But for some reason, I don't know. I'm just looking. When it comes to the shows, I'm like looking forward to more of the comedy based projects, which obviously Waller's a very serious character, unless they try to like dark
Yeah. I
comedy
mean,
it up, or comic relief, or she plays like the straight guy to everything else crazy going around her. But I mean, I'm sure I'll watch it. Who am I kidding?
yeah. We'll see what happens. Sucks that The Last of Us season 2 isn't dropping until 2025. Yeah.
Did
Because of the writer
did that get
strike.
confirmed? Oh yeah, that makes sense then.
It's because of the writer strike. Like,
Yeah.
um,
I also will say, did you play the games?
no, I never played the games.
So you don't know anything about part 2.
No, I've watched all but 2 episodes of the first season of The Last of Us.
Okay.
Really good.
Yeah, it's
really good, but a little bit too overhyped for me. Like,
yeah, it's overhyped for sure. And I think the games were better.
like,
Yeah.
and like I will honestly take both Sonic movies and the Super Mario Brothers movie over The Last of Us because I mean, of my connection with those characters and also nostalgia.
I love that second Sonic movie.
That movie was so awesome. Like,
I do think though, I love the second Sonic movie, but I think the best Sonic scene they've given us is the slowed down bar fight scene in the first movie. Like, I thought that scene came across.
That was
it was just
fun.
like very Sonic. Like, it kind of showed to me that they really understand the character and like they got the sense of humor right. So that bar scene, I don't think there's a moment in the movie 2, the second movie. That
there is a bar scene
but
in it, but there's not. It's not really much of a fight. It's a
dance scene, right? Yeah.
Yeah, with them playing Uptown Funk, and I was like, dude, they could play so many other different songs, and it wouldn't even matter. Like,
yeah.
so
I will
fun.
say I am did you play a lot of the Sonic games?
I more played a lot of the collaborations he did with Mario, but I have played Sonic Heroes for the GameCube.
So I grew up being obsessed with Sonic Adventure 2, which was the one where it's on GameCube, and it was just him kind of like, I don't know if it was a soft reboot or if there were any games earlier, kind of like before my time. I played a lot of like the Game Boy ones as well, but like that introduced Shadow. But Shadow is just like him, and he learns about Shadow, and just the two of them, like Shadow's doing everything better than him, and there's like an awesome story. And like the story of the game is so good that like if they just made Sonic the Hedgehog 3 the plot of that game, it would be a total knockout. But I grew up obsessed with that, so obviously I grew up just being a total Sonic fan. And it's like really cool seeing both that, Mario, even though it's not the exact version we grew up with, I really enjoyed Detective Pikachu. Like, I love seeing the animated video game adaptations are actually like getting up to snuff. So it's a fun time to be a video game fan.
And like, I think honestly, like when it comes, obviously Nintendo's going to do them in animation form this time around. Like, they're not going to go the live action route like they do with Sonic or Detective Pikachu. But I mean, I'm still down for more live action video game movies. But I think honestly, whenever people want to make video game movies, I really think they should take notes from Mario in regards to the animation route.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you craft animation with video game movies. Like, it is beautiful to look at.
What is your pick for the movie you think Nintendo needs to make next?
I probably would go with Donkey Kong Country. Like,
okay,
also,
I like that.
Like, I'm also a massive Donkey Kong fan. Like,
yeah, I like that pick.
And then I think even though I never really played much of these games, I just know from the concept of those games, it could be a really, really fun space adventure film. The Star Fox. Like,
oh, the GameCube one of that I loved, Star Fox Adventure, where he goes to like a prehistoric dinosaur planet and like there's a whole like royalty prophecy being overthrown. It was like badass. I think
Yeah,
he's a cool character. They have to throw him in there.
but the only reason why I know Fox is because of obviously Super Smash Brothers. Like,
Yeah. Do you think does it go the MCU route? Like, do they make a bunch of movies that ends up culminating in like a Super Smash or?
it could be a Super Smash Brothers movie to
Yeah,
kind of cap it all off. Like, I
yeah,
would love to see that.
that'd be cool.
And also they could do like an actual animated Pokemon movie, like
Yeah, yeah. I think that would work great. I mean, why? I mean, I
because
think
Nintendo does own Pokemon, so
Mario is like you just said. Mario is just such a great reference point as to like why all these other projects would work really well. So I say bring it on.
I agree. And plus, even like I said with Donkey Kong Country, like I'm a massive fan of Donkey Kong. Like a lot of Easter eggs, like from previous games, would actually really work into that film's story. Like even though yes, it's going to be a very thin story, like it was for the Super Mario Brothers movie, because all it is like Donkey Kong's banana hoard's been stolen, so he has to go get it back. Like simple story, but sometimes the key is simplicity when it comes to telling a story. Sometimes that's the best bet.
So there's a couple I mean not GameCube. There's a couple Nintendo 64 games that I was absolutely obsessed with when I was younger and growing up. I still replay them like once a year or every other year. Have you ever played any of the Banjo Kazooie games?
I've seen gameplay of them, but I never played them in my life. I think when I had like this mall like around my hometown, they did have this little store like where they actually did have some Nintendo 64 games, and
Yeah.
Banjo Kazooie was one of them. My mom would never let me get that game, and I was like, "Why? Like, why not? It sounds fun."
Yeah, I think it's pretty harmless. Like I think it's harmless as like a Mario game. But I think it has a
Yeah,
legitimately awesome story. I think that would make a fantastic movie. Um, but
but obviously they got to
unfortunately,
get the right animation and also the right voice actor to voice Banjo.
oh yeah, and it's like also one of those things where Microsoft bought that company, so he's kind of been on ice. Like you haven't seen the character in a while, so it's one of those things. Who knows? If they even give me another game, I'll be happy. But I don't even know if that's going to happen. So.
Yep. I don't buy the rumor that Vin is mad because of Momoa's performance. I don't either.
I feel like the way the like interviews and stuff has portrayed Vin in recent years, it fits the trend, but I also just don't understand how anyone that's associated with the movie could be mad about it. So that's what makes it
Well,
unbelievable.
a lot of people haven't really been going to see it because they're burnt out on Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, how much money is it
uh,
making? It made like 3 or 400 million, right? Or no?
I don't remember honestly because
I'm
I'm
gonna have to
sure that
look.
movie's bombing right now because the reported budget for that movie was $340 million.
I'm gonna look right now.
Okay, so yeah, I'll hit these comments while you're looking at that. Okay, so Dave was referring to Cocaine Bear, but and so yeah, he was referring to Cocaine Shark about on Tubi, but I'm telling you though, man, Cocaine Bear is much better, like in every single way. The best part and one part is Jason Momoa. The rest of the movies, I wouldn't say it sucked. I still had fun with it. It definitely balanced like the over the top ridiculousness that the Fast and Furious franchise is known for. But at the same time, it does get a bit too stupid.
So it didn't do great in the US, but
But how's it
I mean
doing overseas?
it has a total worldwide gross of $605 million. So I
So
mean
that's not bad. I don't
that's
know why
nothing.
Vin Diesel's
That's nothing to scoff at. But it has less than 130 million of a gross in the U.S. I mean, if you're talking about like a big blockbuster that costs $300 million, obviously you're not going to like looking at that number. But I mean, worldwide, that's not bad.
because dude, look at Mario in the U.S. It made over $500 million
Yeah,
in the U.S., but worldwide it grossed over $1 billion.
I was gonna say you knew that movie was destined to crush the worldwide box office. They love him overseas, so
Yeah, and plus, it's the highest grossing Illumination film. So I can honestly see Mario being the new face of Illumination. If I'm being real, like
if they let that if Nintendo lets that happen, I don't know. I have no idea what kind of deal they signed with Illumination, but then they would be they'd be dumb not to put like Mario and don't mean to trigger you, the minions at the forefront here. So
Mario's gonna overtake them any day of the week.
That's fine. I just say that's their two like main, symbols of the Illumination now. So
yes. D&D was so I wouldn't say it's underrated. I would more say it's overlooked. Because a lot of people loved it, but not a lot of people saw it. Like,
I'll take overlooked just because like it took. I'm worried we won't get a sequel.
I don't think we're gonna get one though because the film bombed.
Because it barely made its money back.
Because the film, I think the film's reported budget was $150 million, and it only made $200 million worldwide. And I was like, guys, really? Come on.
No one went to go see it, but that's going to be one of those. Unfortunately, it's going to be one of those stories where it like, and now it's out on digital and everything. But like 5 years from now, they're going to put it on Netflix, and you're going to see all those articles being like, "There's this Netflix hidden gem that like you're not this really good," and then you're going to be like, "Oh yeah, it was D&D. You should have seen it 5 years ago," and then they could have made a bunch of them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's like good point there, Dave. He's not wrong. Saw the Boogeyman today. Nice. What'd you think, man?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I'm waiting till streaming to watch that movie. To be honest with you, it looked really, really generic.
I had screening passes to that and Spider-Verse, and I obviously sat in line to go to Spider-Verse, and too many people got in, so I didn't get to go. So unfortunately, that meant I missed out on both that and the Boogeyman that night. So I didn't get to see.
Oh, okay. What is your guys' worst movie of the year thus far? Magic Mike? I wouldn't say it's that bad, honestly. I had a good time with it.
My least favorite, I didn't see Magic Mike, but my least favorite movie of the year, which I don't even want to say out loud to give it any airspace, was it was the Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher Netflix movie, Your Place or Mine. I cannot even get started because I won't stop if I do.
It's in my top 10 worst of the year, but my least favorite movie of the year so far is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah, that's my second. That's my second least.
Okay, good.
Followed by Shotgun Wedding with J-Lo.
I thought that movie was just okay. I mean, nothing special. I mean, look, if they wanted to make that film great, they should have done what they did with The Lost City, where they actually focused more on the action comedy side.
Yeah, Lost City did. I think I said that even in my review. Lost City Shotgun Wedding was kind of just like trying to ride its coattails with none of the heart. So,
like, it just was. It was just a Lost City ripoff. Like,
yep, 100%.
And for anybody that likes Shotgun Wedding more than Lost City, I respect it, but no.
There's the door again.
There you go. Get out the door. What do you guys think is the worst live-action Spider-Man movie villain? I would say probably Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But if we're talking about, like, CGI-wise, definitely Rhino.
I think Rhino and that version of the Green Goblin are pretty good picks. I mean, like, thinking about other villains, all of the Tom Holland ones are either they range from like serviceable to great. And then the Tobey Maguire ones, I mean, Doc Ock, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is like goated. Obviously, you get Willem Dafoe in there as well. And I mean,
Sandman was good in Spider-Man 3. Like, I love Sandman.
I didn't even hate Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. I think the Green Goblin. I think the Green Goblin.
Kind of where you and I differ. Like, okay. I do really think, like, I did not like his Venom whatsoever. He was just so rushed.
I will say someone on YouTube went back into all of his Venom scenes and put like an authentic Venom voice in it instead of the ones that they used. It sounds way better, and it kind of just like makes the whole vibe work more. But I'm not saying he's a good one. I can understand I'm in the minority of that, but I think the Green Goblin, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and the Rhino are worse than him.
And also, if we're also speaking on CGI, definitely the Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man. Like, the Lizard, like the look of the Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man was terrible. Like,
Yeah, even though he looks way different, it doesn't even really look like the same guy. They made him look so much more polished in No Way Home.
Like they fixed the characters better in No Way Home, even like with the Amazing Spider-Man villains. Like of course with the Lizard and Electro, they fixed the villains.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, if we're talking about CGI and look alone, I'm not too big of a fan of the Jamie Foxx look in the first in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
He looks way too kooky for that role. Like
Yeah,
you look at his like it's kooky blue guy basically.
he
Like
looks like one of those jellyfish. Like I don't like it. So
it's it's like a jellyfish that you would find in SpongeBob or something.
right, yeah,
Like you
exactly.
look at it, and it's like, dude, you're in SpongeBob. Like
Yeah, not Spider-Man, not Brooklyn or Queens.
like you're in the Bikini Bottom. So need to get Nick ready caught up on your stuff. Should go check out his content.
Dave, step into my office, buddy. You know where I am.
All right, so this is one question I definitely would like to ask you. I mean, I obviously don't have any of these questions written down, so, which is strange for you guys to think, but this is one I definitely would like to ask because I know there's a lot of people that would definitely have different answers based on this question. What are 3 movies that you wish you never seen in your life? Like ones that you could just turn back time and just prevent yourself from watching?
Because they're so bad or like disturbing? Or can I interpret
Because
the
they're
answer
bad.
however? Because
They're
they're bad.
really, really bad movies.
Okay. I'm gonna
Like,
pull
you're
up
not there
my
watching them and you're like, I wish I could just turn back time and just not watch this.
I'm gonna pull up my letterboxed and look at my least or lowest ranked. Let me see.
Like, I think I can definitely name one for sure.
What is it? Let's hear it.
Disaster movie.
Okay.
So disrespectful. Like
It's definitely a bad movie. I feel like I've almost blocked that out. I don't have the most insane memory of that one. I was gonna say I might need to rewatch it, but I probably never will.
like I did like a Freeberg and Seltzer parody movie marathon, which I know was a really bad idea because most of those
Yeah.
films were terrible. And I mostly did a try not to laugh challenge, like on myself, watching those movies to see if I would win. I lost on Meet the Spartans and the Starving Games because with Meet the Spartans, I busted out laughing only one time.
Yeah.
Like, and then with the Starving Games, I busted out laughing 3 times. Like,
So
but that doesn't mean they're good movies.
so I found one that's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. There's probably more that I can think of, and this might be recency bias. I absolutely detest Moonfall from last year. I
That one
cannot
I can
stand
laugh
it.
at, to be honest with you. It's
I thought
very,
it was
very stupid.
I thought it was so bad that I couldn't even enjoy it as a bad movie. Like there's just so many bad decisions, and it clearly was trying to take itself seriously. It didn't even like go buy into its own ridiculous tone. So for me, Moonfall is definitely up there. Norbit with Eddie Murphy is a movie up there.
How are you doing? Like, just Eddie Murphy's Respucia voice and then just doing his famous Axel Foley catchphrase, "How you doing?" So freaking annoying. Like,
The second Dumb and Dumber movie, Dumb and Dumber was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Dumb and Dumber, yes, when Harry met
Yes.
Lloyd.
Yes,
I
when Harry
almost
met
thought
Lloyd.
you said Dumb and Dumber 2, like
No,
the actual second movie.
No, I have a nostalgia kick for that one, obviously.
I like that movie too. It's really, really dumb. Literally, no pun intended.
Yeah,
But it's still funny. Like there's still some good laughs. Like
that's another movie that I just grew up with. My dad was doing the original Dumb and Dumber all the time, throwing that right into the TV. So I grew up
so
in that movie.
I think I got another one I can speak on. Like, cause
Hit me.
This is another one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. Also with disaster movie, Cats.
So keeping with that theme, looking at my list is Mike Myers is the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, that's another one I grew up with. Like that's another movie I can watch and have a good time with. Yeah, but Cats though, that movie's just like
Cats is a horror
CGI,
movie.
Like the look of the cat, like just the look of the cats, like the human faces on the cats is just horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like
terrible.
they should have done something like motion capture work, like so that way they didn't have to look so nightmarish.
They looked right out of a horror movie or like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should have done like what they did with like Alita or Avatar, motion capture. It would have looked a lot better.
Another one I'll say too is I really didn't like the new Netflix version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't like
Thank
that.
you. There is like some of my friends really enjoyed that movie, and I was like, you guys just really must love really bad horror movies.
Yeah, no, that just
'Cause
wasn't my
this
speed.
was bad. Like
It's
I'll
like
admit myself, I liked it at first, but the more and more I thought about it, the more I absolutely hated the movie.
I just feel like you look at something like that compared to like a more recent horror offering like Barbarian, and it's just like they're not even in the same galaxy. Like
Or hell,
Barbarian for
even
me,
or even like the Terrifier movies. Like
yep.
those films are considerably lower budget than freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but they're better.
I don't know if you saw it, but they just announced that Terrifier 3 is getting like a pretty legit budget. So I'm gonna curious to see what the heck
Because
they're
of
gonna
the
do with
success
it.
of Terrifier 2. That's the reason why the
Oh
film is
yeah.
actually getting a pretty big budget, and it is. I think it is going to be the final Terrifier film. We don't know that for sure yet, but obviously they're bringing back the two main characters that we saw in the second one. So
Yep.
yeah,
I'll be
very
seated.
excited about that. And here, okay, this might come as a shocker to some people because I know a lot of people that also really enjoyed this movie, but this one just did not do it for me. David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future.
I dig that movie.
I'm sorry, that movie was just not it for me. Like, the movie didn't even tell that interesting of a story. It's nothing but torture porn. And
Yeah, I mean, I can obviously understand that critique. I think it's just one of those things where I don't know. It's just an interesting world that he likes to create, and he's such a good detail guy. But I do think it's cool where it's like, I mean, it's just like a more. This kind of sounds crazy because I don't know. The concept's already ridiculous, but it sounds like it's like a more grounded Hellraiser, where it's just like pain is pleasure and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I've seen all ends of the spectrum with this movie, though. I've seen people that are obsessed with it, thought it was the best movie of the year. Some people thought it was like the worst piece of shit they've ever seen, and then people that are just confused by it. So I've seen everything under the sun, but I dug it. I'm kind of a sucker for Cronenberg, and especially I will say I think his kid is fantastic. I loved both.
Brandon, yes.
Yep.
And I will honestly take Infinity Pool over Crimes of the Future. Like, I
Oh
love
yeah,
Infinity Pool.
I liked Infinity Pool more than Crimes of the Future too.
But
Possessor is better than all of that. I don't know if you saw Possessor, but
I have seen Possessor. Yes, I have seen it. But it's just, I kind of feel like for me with Possessor, I kind of feel like that and Infinity Pool are kind of on equal footing for me. Because I loved both of them so much.
I think Christopher Abbott in that movie, unbelievable.
I think I might give Infinity Pool the edge because mostly because of Mia Goth. Like, I love her in X and Pearl. Like,
I love Mia Goth. I cannot wait for that third X movie.
For Maxine, yes.
Yeah, my God, I can't. She's like, we're like living in her like 3 years horror takeover right now. Like, she's everywhere, and I'm absolutely eating it up.
Yeah, because I mean, like, dude, she was on the rise probably since like A Cure for Wellness from 2017. Yep. That was the movie where it's like she's gonna have a big career ahead of her.
That and High Life with Robert Pattinson.
I was just about to say that when you took that right out of my mouth. Yes, yep. I love High Life. That's another movie where it's like it's very fucked up, but to a certain degree, it's actually like one I can actually still like rewatch. Like,
I just have to say this before we get off on a different topic because I brought up my guy Pattinson. Have you seen Good Time?
Yes.
I love Good Time. What do you think about it?
I loved it too. I honestly, people do prefer Uncut Gems when it comes to the Safdie brothers.
I'm way more Good Time. I'm way more Good Time. And yes. I just like, I love the Safdie brothers movies. I'm looking forward to seeing the other ones that come out in the future because they do one of my favorite styles of filmmaking where it's like a thriller that takes place in like 24 hours or less. Like I absolutely love that. Like Uncut Gems might have been a couple more longer days than that, but Good Time is like it's like a guy's chaotic night. Like that's it. And I love that frantic, pulse pounding, stressful kind of cinema. So that's right up my alley.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Like I love Good Time.
Yeah.
Watched that movie a couple of times before. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but I watched it a couple of times when it was on Netflix. So freaking good. Even yes, if it's very stressful, again, it's rewatchable. Like it is a rewatchable movie.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know. People, I say this all the time, like that I'm like a total sick puppy for this stuff. Like I can't help myself. And it's like I've said so many times that like if my fiance's mother like would ever like ever happen to walk in on one of the movies that like I watch, she'd probably be like, go up to my fiance and be like, pack your bags, you're out of here. Cause like I love watching messed up stuff, obviously. Like
Yeah,
thrillers and I mean like if she walked in when I was watching Terrifier, she'd be like, get a restraining order against this guy. So I can't help myself, but I do find those movies like rewatchable and like I love slashers and
me too. Like I'm a
serial
big
killer
slasher
movies.
guy.
Yeah.
Like
Of the core slashers, who's your guy? Like we're talking like Jason, Freddy, Leatherface, and
like
uh,
Michael Myers,
Michael Myers.
Chucky.
Yeah, who's your guy?
Honestly, because of how creative he is, Jason.
Thank God, I'm a Jason guy too. So
It's a fist bump, dude.
I always kind of say that I'm a Jason guy. I think that it's like, there's a difference between like what you think is the best and what is your favorite. Like, I
Yeah,
think that Jason is my favorite. I think probably the best is Freddy, just because I really like that he breaks the mold of slashers. Like, he's the only one that really talks, but not only does he talk, he's like sickly funny. He gets super creative with his kills and like, he manifests in cool ways. Like we see him coming through the phone, coming through the bathtub, all that kind of stuff, coming through the walls. The other guys are just like badass brick shithouse brutes. And I love that. But
that's what Jason is
yeah,
basically.
100%.
And that's why I love Jason. I love a good iconic horror killer. It's like a big brute badass, and that's
Yeah.
what Jason is to me. But if we're talking like that's a definite favorite. But if we're talking like best one for me out of slasher killers, easily Art the Clown. Like
Hmm.
that dude is sadistic. Like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
love a good sadistic killer. Like,
I think a lot of people are sharing that opinion with you recently. I think that like call it shock value, call it whatever, but I think that that movie did a good job at kind of like bringing people into the slasher genre, even though it's very extreme. Like that kind of movie gets more people out to the theater than would usually go to see a slasher because you're like, oh my god, like they're giving out vomit bags for this movie in the theater. I got to go check it out just for the shock value alone. Like whereas like if Friday the 13th part 28 came out, they probably wouldn't go. So
right. And
I think it's one of those things where I definitely respect the Terrifier projects for kind of getting more revitalized interest in the slasher genre. That being said, the second they do the next Friday the 13th part, I will be seated immediately.
I definitely would too. Speaking of, what is your favorite Friday the 13th movie?
Okay, I'm not going to say this is my favorite just because this has like become the pick that everyone hated, now everyone loves for some reason, but I do want to say that I never hated and always got entertainment out of Jason X. That's not my favorite one though.
Oh,
I just want to put that out there.
okay. I thought you were gonna say the one that I was thinking of because this one's actually my favorite.
What's
Jason
that?
Lives.
Remind me of the plot, or just remind me of the setting.
So basically, it starts out with Tommy Jarvis going to Jason's grave, and
Right, and he like
and he stabs
electrocutes
him
you,
multiple
right?
times, and then a bolt of lightning strikes, and he comes back to life as a superpowered zombie.
Right. Yes, he rises out of the grave.
And just the way he kills his first victim by just shoving his hand through his chest and grabbing his heart, I was like, oh, this is what we're going for. Like,
Jason Lives is really good. I think I need to give that one a. I need to give that
So
one.
it's really funny. Like that scene
Yeah.
when he kills it when this guy is like cutting through branches with a machete, he just grabs the guy's arm and then just throws him to a tree. And for some odd reason, it actually takes his arm off. Like,
I
it wouldn't
think
make any sense logically, but Jason's big and brute, so it's like it makes sense for Jason.
I need to give them all a rewatch, especially if we're getting more projects soon. But my top ranked one right now is the final chapter.
And if you wait, you watched Scream 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's Kirby's favorite Friday the 13th movie. She had she even admitted that she had a big crush on Corey Feldman.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, dude, yes.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I forgot which one she chose. I remember they had that conversation in the movie.
Yeah, Mindy and Kirby were having that conversation like about horror movies. They even said like Candyman.
Yep, Candyman. Yeah, quintessential. I've got a hot take for you though, because you really dug Scream 6, right?
I love Scream 6. Like,
I liked Scream 6. I think I liked Sick better. I don't know if you watched that one.
I did not care for that movie. Like,
I liked it. I got a kick out of it.
So basic. Like,
I liked it. I thought it was like I don't know. It kept me guessing a little bit. I thought it was a fresh take. But yeah, I don't know.
For me, like when it came to like, I like more slashers that honestly come with the unpredictability. Like Scream definitely does that better. Like,
yeah, I hear you.
Like they keep you guessing like what the killers are gonna be. Like, especially with 6. Like when it's revealed that there are 3 killers, it's like, wait, they really went there?
Do you think off the top of your head you know your Scream rankings?
I do. Yes.
Hit me with it.
Easily my least favorite is 3. Like 3, I do not
my
like
least favorite
whatsoever.
too. Here's my least favorite too.
I don't like that movie. 5 would be that would go to Scream 4. It's good, but they really need to fix the lighting on that movie.
We're 2 for 2 right now.
Way too bright. Let's see. Number 4 for me is Scream 2. I love Scream 2. Number 3 is Scream 5.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, one of the best legacy sequels we got last year. Number 2, Scream 6, and then of course number 1. It's unbeatable. Scream.
It's always Scream. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think I can't think in backwards order, so I'm going to give you from best to worst.
Okay.
I go Scream, Scream 2, Scream 5. Did I do 5?
Yeah, 5. Just call it 5. Like,
yeah. Scream 6, Scream 4, Scream 3. I think.
Yeah, like it's a really consistent franchise. Obviously minus 3.
It is. It's definitely consistent.
I mean, I think like the most consistent horror franchise for me, because every single film every single film in this franchise ranges from really good to incredible. The Evil Dead movies.
Yeah, they rock. I think that's a great choice.
Like Evil Dead 1, incredible. Evil Dead 2, even better.
Yeah.
Love Army of Darkness. The remake is my least favorite, but it's still really good.
All right, I'll hit you with something that'll make your head spin then. The remake is my favorite one in the entire franchise.
I'm not gonna disrespect that though, because that actually is that take is from a lot of people actually.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy the remake, but Rise was it's everything exactly what I wanted out of an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
Minus the first couple of minutes. The first couple of minutes I was like, pick up the pace.
I think.
But then obviously once the title card came up, like that's when things really started to get going. It was like,
I think what makes Evil Dead Rise go up in my rankings, in my opinion, in general, is what I think is the coolest thing about the movie is obviously it's kind of like what Scream 6 did. Like it took the franchise out of its comfort zone, put it in a brand new setting. And now, like after the success of Evil Dead Rise, the the possibilities are endless. Like, it proved that it can work outside of a cabin in the woods. I was talking with some people when I reviewed it, and I kept saying, like, where do you want to see it happen next, for the next Evil Dead part of the franchise? And the parts that the two locations I love the most, which I need to happen now, are in a hospital or on a cruise ship. And I think on a cruise ship would be unbelievable.
Like
Um,
there's so much stuff you could do with a cruise ship. There's so
and there's
much you
nowhere to
can do.
go. It takes all the cheap stuff out of the way because, like, you can't get off that thing. You're in the middle of the ocean. So I think that
Exactly.
would be an unbelievable setting. I really hope something like that happens, but who knows what they're gonna do. Yeah, I think that they've got plenty of ideas. They don't need any from me. So
I mean, setting it in an apartment building was creepy enough. Like,
yep.
holy God, dude. I could not imagine what they went through in that movie. It was like, dude.
Well, they did it in a really cool way because I was a little worried when I knew the premise and I saw the trailer because I was like, okay, not saying that like any of these horror movies are realistic, but I was like, realistically, if this demon, is unleashed in this apartment building and they've only got like this tiny little apartment to run around in, it should be like a 20-minute movie. She's gonna kill them in like 5 minutes. So I thought it was really cool how they were able to spread it out, detach her a little bit from the murder scene, and kept things fresh and interesting because
Yes.
it was like they were able to keep it isolated, but still have her far enough away that you weren't like, okay, what's going on? Like, why doesn't she just kill these people already? We should wrap
Yeah,
this up. So,
for sure. Open up now. Like, oh my God. Like, oh my
she
God,
did.
it's so
Hey,
creepy.
she did another good performance too. That little girl. I've always said, and I'm sure being a slasher freak like me, like the kids make or break a horror movie a lot of times. And the fact that all of those kids in Evil Dead Rise pretty much were ranged from doing a good job to doing a great job, like that just makes that movie elevate every single part of it. So,
Yes, but do not overlook Alyssa Sutherland though.
oh,
Like,
no way.
dude, like, if you would talk about creepy in horror this year, she's like number one.
Yeah, I think she is.
She was so creepy. Like,
Yeah, she knocked that out of the park. I think
and
that
Lily Sullivan as our final girl, I guess you could say.
yeah.
What a badass! Like,
And they did that. They did parts of that ending so well. Like there were parts from The Thing, there were parts from The Shining. Like, and those are two of my favorite horror movies of all time. Obviously, like everybody. And so I love seeing that kind of incorporated into an Evil Dead film. I always say that like my favorite part of movies, but more specifically, it comes out the most in the horror genre is like immediately right from the bat when you start watching a movie like this. That's like a legacy kind of franchise entry with a new director. You can tell immediately that the director was like a massive fan of the franchise first and foremost. So it's like he probably is out of his mind pumped that he somehow got the opportunity to make a new Evil Dead film. So I loved that he was able to put in all the callbacks and the cliches from the earlier movies, but still put his own creative spin on it. So yeah, that movie was a total home run for me.
yes, it was. Like, that was just awesome. Like if you guys are very sensitive to gore, don't watch that movie. Like, because you're definitely gonna need a barf bag.
Yes, 100%.
Like, it's the Evil Dead movies are always like, obviously, except for Army of Darkness. A lot of those films are so freaking extreme with the gore. Like, even look at like Evil Dead 2. Like with Evil Dead 2, like obviously minus Army of Darkness, they're all extreme with the gore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you cannot take like your average kid to watch a movie like that.
No, I'd be traumatized.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. Zach Attacks Reviews is in here. My man Zach. What's up,
What's
buddy?
up, Zach?
Duct Tape Dynasty. My buddy Josh is in here. Says, "Oh yeah, Pennywise. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't really consider that a slasher killer. Like, he's more because
He's got a lot more psychological stuff going on there.
There you go. That's what I was going to say. But to kind of play into our question that we did earlier, the other movies that I wish I never watched, I got a really good one for you. Holmes and Watson.
So I don't even have to put that on my list because I never watched it. But I saw the reviews for that one. That looked truly horrid.
It is like John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell have done great comedies together. Step Brothers really comes to mind, and Talladega Nights. Like, but just to go from that high to that low, that's embarrassing.
Step Brothers is one of my favorite comedies ever. So when I saw the crappy reviews for Holmes and Watson, I knew I wasn't even gonna risk having their dynasty tarnished for me.
Yeah. Hey man, did you adjust my drum set?
Yeah, I was watching
it's
Cops.
Bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, that movie might be the most quotable Will Ferrell involved project.
It's so freaking funny.
I don't know if I can think of another one that's more.
I mean, Talladega Nights is very quotable too. Like, you know what I did today? I went down to the bridge and threw Grandpa's war medals off. Shut up, old man! I was just kicking the back of the head. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
So, this is another one. I feel like I've been giving you too many hot takes recently. Everybody loves it. Talladega Nights is not my thing for some reason.
And that's okay.
I don't know why. Like, of all the main staple Will Ferrell comedies, like, people hate Anchorman 2. I even liked Anchorman 2 more than I liked Talladega Nights. So,
yeah. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Milk was a bad decision.
He said you're not that great. Brick. It's like, he's a prince. He's not that great. What'd you say? He said you're not that great.
That's one that requires a rewatch.
Or Jerry Curl Daily. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer the first Anchorman, but Anchorman 2 is really funny. Like,
they clearly just let Will Ferrell do whatever the hell he wanted. Half of it, like, proves to be fruitful. Half of it proves to be, he should have been reined in by the studio, but what do you can't get one without the other.
I just love this quote from the first one. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah, right after R.I.P. Baxter.
Yes, I love it. Another really quotable comedy? I mean, for going from Will Ferrell to Adam Sandler, a really quotable one, Happy Gilmore. Love that.
Yeah.
Why can't you just go back in your home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home?
Adam Sandler's another guy that I grew up just absolutely loving. So
I love that.
It was either a Jim Carrey movie or an Adam Sandler movie playing in my VCR growing up. So
that's another great Adam Sandler comedy. Billy Madison.
Oh yeah, Billy Madison, Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds,
Happy
Gilmore, Billy Madison. I already said Billy Madison.
The Wedding Singer.
Waterboy. So there's just a lot of good ones there.
Oh yeah, Captain Insano Sojno Moisi. Love that. My mama says football is the devil.
I need to do like a full binge. Like, it might kill me, but a full Adam Sandler binge.
The one that would just kill me like right off is with Jack and Jill and Grown Ups too. That would I would just be like, done.
It would end
Not
there.
continuing on. I'm done. Like, I would only watch like the really good Adam Sandler comedies, ranging from Billy Madison, Mr. Deeds, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, 50 First Dates, The Wedding Singer. Range from those points.
I'll say, I think I like these movies more than most people. I am a fan. I can understand why people don't like them. I'm a fan of both Funny People and That's My Boy.
Funny People's great, but That's My Boy, I'm okay on, to be honest with you. It's okay. But
and
also
also
Andy Samberg definitely makes that movie better than it is. Like,
I have never rewatched it, but I remember enjoying as a kid Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Smell it, I'll think it.
I haven't seen that.
It's bad.
Well, I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure it would play awful on a rewatch. But
sometimes I can enjoy the first Grown Ups. So the first Grown Ups, I think, is just fine. Like, it's dumb, but it's got some good moments in it. Like the rope on a tree scene. Like, the rope on a tree always makes me bust up laughing. Like,
I think a lot of that was filmed in Massachusetts, maybe Cape Cod or something. So being a Boston guy, I have to at least give them props for that. But that's where my allegiance ends with Grown Ups.
Yeah, for sure. He called the ship poop. gotta do that every time we talk about Billy Madison. Like,
no, that has to be thrown in there.
Yeah, but when you talk about Happy Gilmore, it's why can't you just go back in your home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Like,
he's made a living off these silly voices and little quotes. So,
and I think Happy Gilmore might be my favorite Adam Sandler comedy. Like, it's so every single time I watch it, it cracks me up even more, and it's very quotable too. Like, first my dad, now Chubbs. Anybody get close to you dies. If I were you, I'd run. You're gonna die, clown.
Your favorite Adam Sandler movie isn't The Cobbler? I don't know. I didn't even watch. I haven't seen it either. I feel like no one's watched it. So
my favorite is Happy Gilmore. Like, and I grew up with that movie. Like, I grew up with that one. The house is like 400 yards away. Is that good? Oh yeah. Also, when he meets Chubbs.
Mm-hmm.
They won't play on Pro 2 anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. It's because you're black? Hell no. Damn alligator bit my hand off. That alligator just popped up, cut me down in my prime. He got me. But I tore one of them bastards' eyes out, though. Look at that.
I'm telling you, the binge, I think 2023 might have to be that I binge, recap every single Adam Sandler movie. Or the main ones, not every single.
The mainly good ones.
Yeah, the mainly good ones.
But yeah, I mean, I love Adam Sandler. I mean, Jim Carrey as well. Love Jim Carrey.
I'm a big Ace Ventura guy, so.
I'm more of a Mask guy than the Ace Ventura guy. But I love Ace Ventura though, for sure. Don't get me wrong, I love Ace Ventura, but the Mask is just something else, dude. Like,
the second Ace Ventura would probably be that movie for me that, like, I definitely saw way too young, and it had like way more adult humor in it than its PG-13 rating would led you to believe. And
because there's literally a scene where he comes out of a rhino's ass.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that.
But with the Mask though, like, that movie, a lot of the effects in that movie may not hold up in today's standards, but it still holds up actually really well comedy wise. Like,
well, what's funny too, though, is like some of the effects in that will still hold up, though, because he just has the most like ability to manipulate his face possible, like the same way that he did in The Grinch, where like a lot of it was just him. A lot of it was just him making the face, and I'm like, how the hell?
This guy is incorrigible. Like that, or
it's crazy. I don't know how he has that ability.
Yeah. Or even like what's another one? Like for his let's see. Oh, somebody stop me! Like, or what's another? It's again another very quotable movie. Like,
yeah. I mean, that kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I think that probably has a hand in being like a lasting, memorable comedy. So,
yeah, just gotta ask yourself one question: do I feel lucky?
I like the you got to get the lower jaw moving. You had the lower jaw moving. Yeah. Which he does. I don't know how he does it.
Like, punks.
I like the effects in that shot, actually, though. I think that like it has the cartoony like framed Roger Rabbit,
like bangs just coming out of those guns.
Yes.
Like, oh my god.
It's like very like Who Framed Roger Rabbit type stuff, and I think it's so over the top.
The Mask is basically a live action cartoon.
Like, yeah, it is. It is. Totally is.
Again, also love Dumb and Dumber. That movie's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Those your skis? Both of them? And then when they kill the mental guy, with I think it was with drugs or something.
Oh, when they give him all the pills in his burger?
Yes, that scene, yep.
Yeah.
And then check please.
Yeah. Yeah, no, one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is when they meet Cam Neely playing Seabass, and they're like they trick Seabass into letting them buy all that stuff on his tab, and they grab all the stuff and they're leaving, and he's like, Lloyd, that was an incredible plan. Where'd you think of it? He's like, yeah, I saw it in a movie once. He's like, wow, it sounds like a great movie. What happened? He's like, oh, the guy met up with them a couple miles down the road and slit their throats. It was a great movie. And he's like, what? and then they have to just run from sea bass for the next 20 minutes.
Oh my god, it's too funny.
That's an awesome movie. That's a timeless comedy.
Hold that plane.
I'm a limo driver.
I love that. Geez, look at the butt on them. Yeah. You must work out. Big gulps, huh?
Yeah. All right.
See you later. It's great. What's another great Jim Carrey comedy?
I heard they just put those two dudes in the movie. I saw recently that like they weren't actors or extras or anything. Like there's just those two guys drinking big gulps, and they just happened to like they were right in front of the store, and Jim Carrey just did that. So
he's like, big gulps, huh? I love that. Obviously Ace Ventura is great. Yummy. Like, just love that when he's giving those snacks to what he thought was Snowflake, but it was actually a shark. And I was like, oh god, dude, that shark would murder you.
Yeah, like, he keeps eating in the second one, he keeps eating bat poop because he doesn't know what it's called. Guano or whatever it is.
No. I just love quoting Jim Carrey movies. Like he's just one of the most quotable dudes out there.
Yeah.
Again, I just love that. Do not go in there. Woo! And then obviously years later, Andy Samberg steals that quote in Pop Star.
I never saw that. I heard
it's given in the trailer, so this is not necessarily a spoiler. Like he took a shit in the Anne Frank house, and he's like, and he did the line from Ace Ventura, like, "Do not go in there." Woo! Like,
is that a good movie? Should I watch that?
It's really funny. Like,
yeah, okay. I know people liked it, so I just for some reason I don't know why I don't think I was that caught by the trailer, so I was like, I'll skip it. But then people actually really liked it.
It's really funny. I think another of course, The Grinch. Like, love The Grinch. Oh, Lemony Snicket's though. Lemony Snicket's is pretty underrated.
He was underrated in that as Count Olaf.
Yeah. All I ask is that you do each and every little thing that pops into my head. While I enjoy enormous fortune no parents left behind.
You've got like all the quotes. I don't know how you got all the quotes up there.
I've seen Lemony Snicket. Like,
I love the books too.
Yeah, but I was meaning like, I have some VHS tapes still. Even though my background will not let you believe that. But so, like a lot of the 2005 VHS tapes, like the Nickelodeon ones, to clarify, have a trailer for Lemony Snicket's, and they show that moment every single time.
Do you have Lemony Snicket on VHS though?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to. I think I got that as a birthday gift when I was like 2 years old.
I don't know. They've got to be somewhere. I don't know where all the VHS tapes when I was growing up are now. The only one I have is my buddy gave me like a mint VHS of A New Hope. And
is it like is it like a 80s copy or something? Like,
it's like the gold one. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know when it came
out. Like I have some rare ones in my collection. Like I have the Saw VHS.
That's kind of cool.
That's a rare one. And I actually found that brand new seal.
Where'd you find that? Like Goodwill or something?
Yeah, I got that at Goodwill for like 75 cents. I also did get Ladder 49. Have you seen Ladder 49?
I actually have not seen that.
Okay. I mean, that one's pretty rare too. Movie with John Travolta and Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Firefighter movie. Elektra is another one I got. I got Elektra.
That's an interesting one.
Look.
Oh, here we go.
No,
I thought you were gonna say look and like make your case for Elektra being like a fantastic movie or something.
No, I never would have said that.
Okay, honestly. I thought that's what I thought you had me going for.
I got the VHS because it was it's extremely rare, 2005 VHS, but the film is terrible. Honestly.
Hey, as a collector's item, no shame coming from my side. Wait, when did they stop making them? Was it 2005?
It was around like early 2006, but then they released like some demos, like for I think for like for critics or something like that. I don't know exactly what, because I know they released a demo for Mission Impossible 3.
I've got a good trivia, little bit of movie trivia for you. I just
All right.
looked up because I wanted to look this up. If you had to guess, and you're right, it happens in 2006. If you had to guess, what was the last movie released on VHS?
I actually know this.
Do you?
I do. Because I never looked this up, but I have seen on some people's update videos that they did buy the VHS of this movie, and they said it was the last movie ever released on VHS. A History of Violence.
Wow. You got it, folks. I'm impressed. Yeah, no, I would have never got that, to be honest. I'm looking at a list of the last movies released on VHS, and they're all saying
I know some though. I know a few of them also. Like there's Saw 2. Saw 2 is one of them. The Ice Harvest.
Okay.
Wait, is the Ice Harvest on there? Or
the ones I'm seeing are like 6 movies. It's Saw 2, Zathura, Yours, Mine, and Ours, Jarhead.
Yep, Zathura.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and Just Friends.
I did not know that they actually had a VHS. Like I knew they had a VHS for Goblet of Fire, but I never seen one in my life.
I don't even collect them, and now I want Goblet of Fire on VHS.
I want Just Friends on VHS now. Like,
I'm gonna see if
here's another rare one I got. Walking Tall.
Oh, okay.
The one with The Rock. To clarify, the one with The Rock.
Yeah. Is that the Sean William Scott one?
No, that's that's the
Rundown. That's the Rundown, which I love. The Rundown's a good
Walking Tall also has Johnny Knoxville in it.
Right. Okay. Yes.
There's that. I'm trying to think of what else I got that's also really rare. Again, I'm just trying to picture it in my okay, like my brain is just fogging up completely right now. I mean, I can go look really quick. Like, and because it's literally just right across from me, I can go look.
Yeah, go for it. I'm curious.
All right. Okay, there we go. I can see them from here. Okay, so like I just pulled some of this. I just pulled some of them down because I had like others behind it. So I got a few there. $1 Million Baby.
Okay.
Let's see what else I got. The Incredibles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that one's really rare though, but I'm counting.
It's a cool one.
Red Eye.
Oh, that's a cool one.
The Wes Craven movie, Red Eye.
Cillian Murphy.
Yes. I want to get that 4K though. I really do.
Does that not exist?
It does. Like it's it's under the Paramount Presents line. I'm still keeping the VHS because it is super rare.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna get the 4K regardless. Stealth.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's with I know Josh Lucas and Jamie Foxx are in it. It's directed by the guy that did the first Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah, what is his name? Paul something, right? Paul Cohen or something?
Rob Cohen.
Yes.
It's Rob Cohen. Also the same guy that brought us the atrocious Boy Next Door. Yeah, that film was terrible.
Josh Lucas, Jamie Foxx, Jessica Biel, Sam Shepard. Oh.
Yeah. What else? Like I said with Saw.
Tell me you have a green Shrek tape.
I don't.
Oh, I need a green Shrek tape.
I want that too, actually. Now that you bring that up, I want that. I also do got Constantine on VHS.
I like that one.
And if anybody's wondering, it's obviously the Keanu Reeves movie Constantine.
Is there another one?
They got one coming up from the same director, and also with Keanu Reeves again.
Yeah. No, I like that movie. That's a fun
one. Coach Carter with Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, yeah.
It's a great movie. I'm not a teacher. I'm the new basketball coach. National Treasure. That's another one. National Treasure.
That's an awesome one.
Yep. The Notebook.
Okay.
I have the movie on Blu. I do have the Notebook on Blu-ray, but
Yeah.
but again, because of the rarity of the VHS, I kept it.
Do you have any rare Blu-rays or 4Ks?
That's a good question, actually. Like, there's some that I know you can barely even find. Oh, I wouldn't really consider this one rare, but this is exclusive. Like, but this one I'm gonna pull out was only exclusive to Best Buy. You could not get it anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
The 4K for Bodies, Bodies.
Okay.
This was only exclusive to Best Buy. Like, you could not get this on 4K anywhere else.
Anywhere else. Wow.
Could only get it on 4K at Best Buy. I mean, obviously the steel books you can only get at Best Buy, but
I think the
oh, here's another pretty rare one. Intersection.
I haven't even seen that.
I found this for dirt cheap on Amazon. Like,
Yeah.
but it was like, but again, this is like one of those Blu-rays you can't really find anywhere. And also, I mean, this one was online exclusive also right here. And we were literally just talking about this movie earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And funny enough, I actually found this at a Barnes & Noble. Like, it was only $18. And I was like, I can't pass this up. I have to buy this.
That's not bad. I think, so I'm looking, the ones that I have, I think the rarest ones that I have is, I have like a crazy steelbook that went out of print a little while ago, is the steelbook for Schwarzenegger's The Last Action Hero, which is a movie I like a lot.
Like crazy.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I have that, and the other one is I got that 4K release they did like last year, where like it was really hard to get a copy of Event Horizon. So those are probably like my two most.
I don't know. I don't know if I like. This is a very, very recent one. I don't know if I would consider this out of print, but a lot of people were buying this steelbook, especially when it was announced.
Mm-hmm.
I just got it today, by the way.
Oh,
the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I love that. I didn't even know the steelbook was out yet.
But apparently, for some odd reason, they pushed this back to next week.
Hmm.
Like the same day that John Wick 4 is being released.
I will say, I kind of wish they did more with that steelbook art. But
yeah, but the reason why I like the steelbook a lot though is because it fits the movie.
Like, it does. Yeah. And I mean, you know what it is instantly.
Like, as soon as you look at that cover, it's like, you know what it is. The Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah. And I think I might, for funsies, I think I might actually get another copy for fun. Like, I just love that movie so much. It's like I have to get, like, I want so many copies of it. Like,
yeah, it's an awesome movie. I had a lot of fun with that one.
I will not accept any Mario hate. Because I saw this one guy on Letterboxd. He absolutely despises Mario. He put it as his worst movie of 2023 so far. I'm like,
yeah,
really?
I don't think that could even be in. I mean, obviously, like you said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I don't see that opinion. There's so many worse movies. Like, even if you don't like Mario and stuff, you can't deny the amount of like care that was put into the movie. So.
Yeah, like there's no way that movie's worse than something like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yep. House Party. Honestly, that movie was terrible.
I didn't see that one actually. I was supposed to go to like a mystery Regal screening for that one, and I ended up not going.
And it came out the same weekend as Plane and a Man Called Otto, and which clearly those were better movies to spend your time with.
I dug Plane. It was ridiculous and stupid, but I dug Plane.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That movie was fun.
It's just mindless, perfect, like 90-minute entertainment or whatever it was. I actually think it might have been
a little it's stuck.
There you go. Is that slipcover?
That's the same slipcover as the Blu-ray, but I was just showing you that I got it on 4K.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that one.
Good movie.
I like a good mindless 90-minute Gerard Butler romp.
That's what Plane is.
Yeah. So. Except I will say the one thing I wish they did more in Plane is I wish they gave us more Mike Coulter.
I would agree with that. And I kind of wish that some of the side characters, like the passengers, were less idiotic.
Yeah, there's definitely some. Wait, I think This might have just been a rumor that I totally fell for, but I feel like they said that they were going to make a movie about Mike Coulter's character, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure exactly, but we'll see where they go. So yeah, that one. There's another word. The new White Men Can't Jump. That movie was way worse than Mario.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I could have guessed that it wasn't going to be great though.
It's so ridiculous though. Like both House Party and White Men Can't Jump, which are both remakes, come from the same director.
Really?
And I was like, well, congratulations, man. You made two of the worst movies of the year.
Like, it's not a great thing to have on the resume.
Especially two remakes to classic 90s movies. Like,
what do you think? So, all right, I'm going to hit you with one then. What do you think is going to go down? And obviously your answer can change because we're only halfway through the year right now. What do you think is going to go down as the most underrated movie of 2023? I know someone said that, I think Zach said that D&D was underrated. Like you said, I agree that it's overlooked. What do you think is going to be the most underrated movie?
Most underrated? Yeah. That's a good one, actually. I'm
looking at my
I would say in regards to underrated, because there's actually quite a bit of people that are bashing this movie, and I'm like, I loved it. I think I'm honestly gonna go. It's a two-way tie for me. Cocaine Bear, honestly, I'm gonna go with Cocaine Bear and Renfield.
I have Renfield pretty high up too. I think it's sitting at my number 11 this year so far.
I have it at number 16 because there's just so many good movies right now this year. There's so many good movies.
I think another one I'll put in as underrated, even though I think you could make the case like you were talking about, is that it's overlooked. I think Sisu.
I have yet to watch that, actually.
You'll like Sisu. I mean, you like the John Wick movies, right?
Yeah, and I saw the trailer for Sisu when I saw John Wick 4, but my theater didn't get it, which I thought was stupid. So I was like,
why even show the trailer?
Yeah, because but I was really looking forward to that when I saw the trailer, because I didn't even know what that movie was. I was like, oh, this looks boring.
I never even saw it.
It was like the beginning of the trailer before he was hunted down by those Nazis, and he like put a knife through his brain. I was like, oh, dude, I did not know I was in for this.
So I'd list that one, and then the other one that I enjoyed a lot, I don't know if you saw it, but that one on Apple, Sharper.
I do not actually have Apple TV Plus, so I didn't watch it yet.
That's a good one. That's like a good, like, thinking thriller, twist and turn, heist kind of movie. It's very stylized, good dialogue, great cast with like Sebastian Stan, Julianne Moore, Justice Smith, John Lithgow. So I think that's going to go. Again, all these ones that I'm saying could also kind of fit into that overlooked category, though.
I think I can actually name another one in regards to being overlooked for me. The Covenant. So
I put out a poll like a week or two ago about what the best movie of 2023 was. And I couldn't believe the amount of overwhelming answers of people saying The Covenant. And I still have not seen it, even though I'm a massive Jake Gyllenhaal guy and I really like Guy Ritchie, but Gyllenhaal is like my boy. Like he's at the top of the list of like if he's in it, I'm going to go see it. And something happened where like a couple other big movies were coming out. I think I went away the other weekend that I was trying to go see it. So I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but everyone I clearly need to check it out because you're saying it. And then all the guys in the poll were saying Covenant. So,
I mean, it's not the best movie of the year so far. Not even close. But in regards to in regards to those types of movies, though, a lot of people really, really enjoyed it. But I never really feel like enough people are talking about it. Like, to be honest with you, because some people in my friends group were just okay on it, and I was like, dude, this is really good. It's like the least Guy Ritchie film that you'll ever see. Like everything you've seen from Guy Ritchie is nothing what The Covenant is. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean that makes me excited to check it out too. Like I kind of like seeing he's going against the grain.
Yep, and I think I think I can point out another one that I think was honestly a little bit underrated. I wouldn't really say it was underrated. I'm really saying this one was a bit overhated. This might come as a hot take to some people because I know some people really hated this movie, and I was like, I'm good on it. Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
So that's another one that I didn't get a chance to watch. There was like I was on my way to the theater for a Thursday night screening, and then like something happened, and I had to bail on it. And then it was like not in theaters for for very long. We know that whole story. But now
Yeah.
that it's on HBO Max, or sorry, Max, which I'm never going to get used to calling it. Now that it's on that, I'll definitely like since I have it at the touch of a button, I'll probably watch it at some point. But I mean, I think I was kind of surprised, kind of going off what you're saying. I think there's a lot of people I know that I was surprised to hear didn't like the first Shazam, and I think the first Shazam was like a ton of fun.
I love
Um,
the first film. Like,
yeah, I like that one a lot. So I was kind of confused when they said that because I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go see Fury of the Gods like next week, and they were like, what? Like I didn't even like that first one. I was like, what? We watched the
well, then
same
what are you
movie?
doing?
Yeah, so I was like, all right, but yeah, I never got a chance to see it. But yeah, I mean, you're right with the overhated and probably overlooked in the sense that that thing had abysmal box office numbers, so literally no one went to see it. But
I think I can name another comic book movie. This might come as a hot take for some people too. Quantumania. I enjoyed that
Quantumania,
movie.
Quantumania, I'm fine on. I gave it a like a 3 out of 5. So it's like it's more positive than negative, but I still, yeah.
But you're not like, but you're still kind of mixed on it. Like,
Yeah, I'm mixed to positive, like mixed to positive. It did stuff that I enjoyed, but at the end of the day, it was kind of just like one of the more forgettable Marvel experiences I've had in a while.
yeah, and there definitely was some script problems. Like, I can acknowledge that some parts of the script I really feel like deserve some rewrites. Um,
Well, I think okay, this can I can boil it down pretty simply to like one part that really didn't work for me is that they just kept not sticking to their guns and doing what like the story that they set out to in the first place and kept like second guessing themselves and being like, oh wait, well like this is more convenient, this is easier, this will create less like I don't know, it'll lower the stakes a little bit and make it more of like a family film. Is I hate that they refilmed the ending and that the original ending was supposed to be that the teleporter breaks, they can't get home, and Scott's stuck in the quantum realm. That's how it was originally supposed to end. That's what they filmed. And then the reshoots, like literally, I don't know, months before the movie came out, filmed that new ending where like out of nowhere, like it just ruined the stakes. Like, what are we so worried about if Cassie Lang could just in 2 seconds made a new portal and got him home?
right,
So
exactly. So,
that was what
yeah,
I had an issue with.
yeah, there you go. I mean, again, some script issues here and there. The ending didn't really work for me. Um,
Yeah.
but
Also, I will say, and this goes for Thor: Love and Thunder too, with how they use Christian Bale. But if you have a Marvel movie and you somehow manage to get Bill Murray in it, you got to give him more than like 4 minutes of screen time and actually give him something to do.
the most wasted character in any MCU movie was with Bill Murray.
So bad. Like that in Gore the God Butcher. I can't believe the amount of potential that was left on the table.
That's fair, but I still had a good time with Love and Thunder, to be honest with you. I still have a good time with it.
Thor: Love
I,
and Thunder is ranked very low in my MCU rankings, unfortunately. But
it's very mid for me. Like,
yeah, I think also it only makes it worse with how much I love Ragnarok. So
it kind of does, honestly, because Ragnarok's my personal favorite MCU movie. Like,
is it?
it is, yes.
I love that.
It's a
Yeah,
great.
no, I think it's my number 5. I just did like, oh god, this video took me forever. I just did like a half an hour long video ranking all the movies in the MCU, and it brought back some bad memories when I was going through the the bottom of the list. But God, the highs of like Phase 3, and some of those Phase 2 projects. I mean, they really just can't be beaten.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say about that. Like,
Yeah.
because I think that's the reason why like a lot of people did not really see Quantumania was because of like some of the reshoots that they did. Like, and people were getting so burned out on like what the tricks that the MCU was doing lately.
Yeah.
That's why a lot more money was given to Guardians Volume 3 because it's obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy and it's James Gunn. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's already such like a winning combination.
exactly. There you go. I think of another movie that should have made more money. Renfield, I think, honestly, should have made a lot more money. Like,
Well, also too, we already mentioned it, and it's already obvious, but obviously D&D
yeah,
that
but
has to be on the top of the list for
if I'm
me,
thinking like
anyways.
movies that really deserved way more money than what they got, I'm easily going
How
with
much did
Renfield.
how much did Renfield make? I know it was crap. And I
It
saw that
made
at like an
like
early screening, and
it
I
made like
enjoyed it.
freaking about $25 million worldwide. And guess how much that movie cost to make?
I mean, it's got to be like the way you asked makes me think it's gonna surprise me. So I don't know. Is it like an $150 million movie somehow?
No, it was made under $65 million. Like,
Okay, all right.
but I was like, come on, guys,
Yeah,
please.
how can you not get to 65? Oh, I gotta look this one up too now. Hold on.
65, I'm sure, was like on $100 million budget because obviously with the CGI of the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, I hated 65. Didn't
I thought it
hate
was
it, but
fine. Like,
I didn't hate it, but I had it at like a 2.5 out of 5, I think. So it's like very, very mixed for me. Um,
I'd say it's a very mid 3 out of 5 for me. Like, I liked it, but I mean, it definitely was very, very wasted with how good that movie could have possibly been.
dude, you were not kidding. I thought you were exaggerating. Renfield made $25 million.
I was so bummed with that because
I
I had
can't believe
so
it.
much fun in the movie theater with that. But then I kind of knew the film was going to bomb though because like when I saw this movie opening night in theaters, and it was just me and three other people in the theater. Nobody else was in there. Like, but whenever anybody else was at the theater, they were either seeing Air or Super Mario Brothers, and I was like, those are good films to give your money to. But guys, come and see Renfield.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people do complain about the CGI gore. It didn't bother me. Like,
Yeah, no, it didn't that didn't bother me either.
because it's like when you look at some of the action sequences, and especially how Renfield gets his powers, you're gonna get CGI blood.
Oh yeah.
Like, and plus, also, the movie's a comedy, so they can do that. Like,
I'm
because
actually
I mean,
seeing
like,
sorry, go on.
let me give you an example of like why I think it was better that they used CGI instead of practical effects.
Mhm.
Like, you look at that scene, like when Renfield, like you're in the motel fight, like where he jumps from like the third story and he crushes a guy,
Yeah.
he splits a guy in half and like his body just explodes. Like, you could not use practical effects on that
I was gonna
because if
say
you
that'd
think
be
about
pretty
that
hard.
logically, it really would have killed him.
Yeah, that'd be really hard to do.
Like it would have, like the guy that they got to do that, it would have killed him. Like,
Just put an actual explosive on his body.
so, like, yeah, and plus, even when he gives like the final blow to Teddy Lobo, um, when he gives him like the big power kick, like breaks every single bone in his body, and he spits and shits blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like I knew he was vomiting blood, but at the same time, I didn't even notice that he shat blood. Like, but
I just looked. It was actually better than I thought. I didn't know D&D cracked $207 million. So at
but it
least
still
there's
did not
that.
make enough money.
No, definitely not. Made 1.4 times its production budget, which obviously is not great.
Not enough. Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. But I just really wish that Renfield made more money. Like, because you rarely these days do you get like original projects based off of a iconic Universal monster. Like,
100%.
so
Yeah, that one for me, it's definitely D&D.
D&D for sure. Like, that'd be like very close up with Renfield.
and I
Like,
love playing D&D, so like I loved as like I've played probably pretty hardcore for like the last 3 years, 2 years. And
yeah,
so playing the game obviously had a whole new level of interest in this movie for me. And I just like I wanted to do so well that they would just give us like an anthology series of it, basically like an actual D&D campaign is like every new movie had a different batch of actors doing in a whole different world, doing a whole new task. Um, and it's probably not going to happen now. But
yeah.
I love them. That's going to be one of those movies that I'm like underrated movie I'm like showing, like, I don't know, like a buddy comes over and doesn't watch it, or like in the future when I have kids, I'm gonna be like, this one got slept on, and it's an
Yeah, I
absolute
mean,
absolute
I
blast.
definitely would do that if I had future kids. Like, I would do that for them. I mean,
I've
I don't
thought
know
about
how
that a
old.
lot. I've thought about that a lot already. Like my kid, unfortunately, my kid is gonna be watching, like, there's not enough time from when he's 0 to 18 for me to fit in all the movies I'm gonna want to make him watch. But what are you gonna do? I gotta, like, I keep
But
because like I
I
keep
don't know exactly like how old my kid would be when I would actually show him a film like Renfield.
I
But
know.
I
I
could show
thought
them
I
that
thought
movie
about that.
like at a very young age. I think it would be passable, like to show them that movie. Like it would work.
It's one of
Like,
those things where it's like I go back and forth about, like, okay, when I was this young, I watched, like, I don't know. I was trying to think like what the first movie I watched that I shouldn't have been watching. It was probably like when I binged a bunch of the Saw movies when I was
oh, okay,
very, very young. I mean, I think what first one was 2004, right?
yep,
So I was 10.
okay.
I don't out. I probably saw it when I was like 12 or 13. And then that pretty much just like opened the floodgates.
I first saw I think I first saw the first Friday the 13th when I was about 9 years old.
hmm
So yeah, I was waiting. Even same thing with the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I watched both of those movies when I was 9 years old.
There's something about those slasher movies though that, like, there's so much hokey effects in there, and usually there's not much swearing in like a Friday the 13th and stuff. So it's like, I don't know, like I feel like it's so stereotypical, like that a young kid would watch like a Friday the 13th or like a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I think it kind of works for some reason. I don't know why, but not
Yeah,
like
but if it
not
was
like
something like what's a good one?
like just
If
because
I
we
was
brought it up, like I'd be if I found out my young kid snuck around and was watching the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I'd be way more okay with that probably than them watching like a Possessor and Infinity Pool.
or hell even like bodies, like
Yeah.
what's another one? Or hell even like um Color Out of Space. Like
Oh my god, that movie's such an acid trip, dude.
yeah.
I
Take some hard
are
drugs while
you
watching that movie. Like
so
good luck.
mentioning that and Renfield, are you a big Cage guy?
Absolutely. Like I love Nicolas
Perfect.
Cage.
I love Nick Cage. Have you seen Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans?
Oh my god, that movie is so ridiculous.
I think that's a
But I love
massively
that.
slept on one. I think
Very
that's
slept on movie.
and
Come on, kid, what's your girlfriend? Oh, what's the matter? Your dad didn't go to enough school plays? Huh?
I love that movie. I think
Him
that
just
he's
smoking a crack rock, dude. Like, oh my god.
dude, everything. He's like jumping into a flooding jail to save prisoners, and he's threatening those old ladies at the retirement home at gunpoint. Like
And
it's
he cuts off an old lady's oxygen tube. Like
yeah. Like he's unhinged. He's unhinged. So it's like that for like my favorite
you can't like
underrated.
you can't think of any more over the top Nicolas Cage movies besides Bad
Yeah.
Lieutenant. Like
So it's like my most underrated Cage movies are probably like that. Even though it's new, I loved Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That was I think that was my number 4 of the entire year that year was Unbearable Weight of Massive
nice.
Talent.
That is a great movie. Like
Yeah, saw it like 4 times. And
I've seen it twice
yeah,
already, but I didn't get to catch it in theaters, unfortunately. But I watched it at home. My God, was that movie funny? Like
underrated Nicolas Cage. Now I gotta remember.
I think I can give you another underrated one in my opinion, even though a lot of people do like this movie. But in regards to some people like that I watch on YouTube, they didn't really like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Willy's Wonderland.
I dig Willy's Wonderland.
It's so dumb and so silly.
And he doesn't say a
it's the right
single
amount of
word.
silly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I dig that.
Color Out of Space is kind of underrated. Like
Yeah, I think it is underrated.
but what's another good Nicolas Cage movie?
If you ever saw
what's
if
one?
you ever saw I like The Trust, him and Elijah Wood doing that heist. If you ever saw that.
I didn't care for that movie. I mean, I still have it. I do want to give it another try, but the first time I watched it, I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
But Have you seen the movie Joe?
Joe is like my blind spot for Nick Cage somehow. I have not seen Joe. It's on my
Oh,
watch list, but
it's so good, dude. It is so good.
yeah, I gotta watch
From
that.
the same guy that made the new Halloween movies. So, like,
Oh, that's him?
yeah, David Gordon Green. That he did also direct Joe and Stronger.
Which makes it even better that he cameos in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
It's awesome. I kind of a lot of people are really sleeping on Massive Talent, like
Yeah, I agree.
because one of my friends bought the movie because it was on clearance at Target at one point, and I think it was like 30 or so minutes in, and he texts my group chat and he's like, "I'm like this close to turning off Massive Talent, giving it 1 star," and I'm like, "Bro, get out of here!"
No,
Like that movie's awesome. Like
dude, I can't.
that's a movie like I can just
Yeah, that's
watch
an
and I will
awesome movie.
immediately feel better. Like if I'm like in a really bad mood or if I'm like depressed or something like that, I can watch that movie and man, I'm in a better mood.
This isn't really underrated just because I feel like everyone knows that it's awesome now, but I can't tell you how happy I was with how excellent Pig the movie was.
Yep.
I was gonna say, thought you were gonna hit me with you didn't like it. Love Pig.
I love Pig. This is honestly like I don't know if I could say this honestly, but honestly, even just after like 2 watches, this might be my favorite Nicolas Cage performance of all time. Like,
So there is a scene in there that is equal parts Cage and this other actor.
Alex
But
Wolff.
no, not him. I actually can't remember the guy's name because he's such a small actor. But there's a scene in there, the one where they're talking to the guy.
Isn't it Adam Arkin?
No, it's like I'm
Dang
telling you, this guy's in one scene.
Oh, okay.
He's probably not even on the box. Let me see if I
Yeah, he's not even on the Blu-ray because the only actors that are listed on the Blu-ray are Nick Cage, Alex Wolff, and Adam Arkin.
I think this guy's name.
Um,
Yeah, I can't find him, but it's the scene where he goes into the restaurant that he and is asking for like the pig, obviously, and he meets that head chef that used to be a busboy that worked for him. And he's like, "Didn't you want to open like an English pub?" He's like, "No, what are you talking about? Like everyone loves this like new state of the art stuff." He's like, "You wanted to open an English pub," and then like kind of just dismantles this guy to the point that he's like crying and chugging wine. And like I still stand by the movie. The year that was released, I think that's the best scene of acting that entire year. I thought that was unbelievable. It was just as much. It was just as much this no named actor guy too. He was sensational.
Yeah. I got another really underrated Nicolas Cage movie. Like this is like I know I just got a new Steelbook, but no one talks about this movie. Lord of War.
Lord of War. Aren't they making a new one?
I don't know exactly if they are or not, but this movie is so underrated. Like a great cast to boot. I mean, obviously you got Nicolas Cage, you got
all right.
One I don't like to talk about anymore because he kind of really screwed up his career. Jared Leto.
Yes.
Ian Holm, Bridget Moynihan, and Ethan Hawke.
I love Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, you're looking at one right here too, man.
Yeah,
big Ethan Hawke fan.
Yeah, he's awesome. So they are doing a sequel to Lord of War, and Cage is back, obviously, and Bill Skarsgård's playing his son, so that should be pretty sweet.
Love that man.
Yeah,
especially after what he did in John Wick Chapter 4, man.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. I actually like, even though I liked him and the other stuff I've seen him in, like Barbarian and obviously It. I didn't know if he was gonna be able to like pull off that like kind of menacing, like larger than life. I mean, everyone kind of can't compare to going up against John Wick, and I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of like different actors, there's actually I'm looking at my collection. If you haven't seen, if there's anybody that's still watching this that has not seen this movie, and you guys love period piece type of movies, watch this one, The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh yeah,
with Jim Caviezel and Guy Pearce. And if you guys know Henry Cavill, this is one of his first appearances as an actor. He was really young in this movie. He was really young.
I love Guy Pearce. I don't think he's in enough and gets enough credit. So
Memento especially.
Memento is fantastic. And LA Confidential.
Love LA Confidential. I'll be honest, even though I really don't like the movie, he was the best part of Bloodshot.
I never saw Bloodshot, actually.
The movie was terrible, but Guy Pearce honestly kind of carried it from being a complete disaster, but the film just suffers. Like,
I even like that movie he did. I don't know if you ever saw Lockdown, where it's literally just a sci-fi version of Escape from New York. Like, it's literally the exact
John Carpenter
same thing.
sued Luc Besson for that movie.
Did he?
He sued him for it because it's a complete rip-off.
It's the exact same thing, but I liked it. I mean, obviously, I like Escape from New York, and I like Guy Pearce, so obviously, I'm gonna like those things mixed together in a sci-fi setting.
Lockdown I did not like.
Oh, sorry,
if you've
Locked
seen
Out.
Escape from New York, you've basically seen Lockdown.
Yes, 100%.
Or Lockout.
I was gonna say it's Lockout.
Yeah, if you've seen Escape from New York, you've basically seen Lockout. And I honestly cannot blame John Carpenter for doing that because
it was a total ripoff.
Yeah, it's the exact same movie, beat for beat.
Yeah.
What's another underrated movie I have on my shelf?
I don't know if it's underrated anymore because people have really started watching it a lot more and love it. But a movie that used to be underrated and really deserved a sequel was Dread with Carl Urban.
It's an absolute disgrace that we have not gotten a sequel.
I know. I love that movie.
But here's another one this movie was bashed by critics back in the day. Like it has a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. God. I just watched this for the first time recently. It was not bad.
What do you got for me?
Belly.
I haven't seen it. But you're right. Yeah, I know people bash it.
People bashed this movie back in the day, but I just watched this for the first time recently, and I liked it a lot. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
But lacks in story and character development, but still a good movie. Like, I enjoyed it. That's what my collection's mostly filled with. Like, a lot of these, like, really, like, hidden gems that a lot of people don't really talk about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love that, too, because it's just, like, I know exactly what I'm going to put on when someone comes over my house and says they want to watch something they haven't seen before. I'm like, dude, that's my whole collection.
Exactly. Like, here's another one right here. I also just watched this one recently. Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
This movie's freaking wild, dude.
Yeah, I dug that one. I had a fun time with it. I didn't even know that got a Blu-ray release.
The first 20 minutes were very lacking for sure because it didn't really feel like it was heading anywhere, even though some pretty graphic sex scenes, though.
Yeah.
But once you get the robotic Santa Claus, the movie just goes nuts.
Yeah, once they get into that like toy shop or Christmas shop or whatever it is, and things start to kick off,
it goes nuts.
It doesn't let up.
Here's another one, and this is many people's pick for the worst James Wan film. Dead Silence.
Oh, I like Dead Silence.
Now look, I will say this is my least favorite James Wan film, but it's still a good movie. Like
I always mix this one up. That's the one where there's a scene where the person's under the floorboards and the woman comes at them. If you open your mouth and scream, she takes your tongue, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
So, yeah, good movie.
I've seen dude, it's kind of crazy. Like horror is probably the genre I have the most experience with, just because like growing up, me and my buddy, we were just renting anything, like the crappiest of the crappy horror movies too, if we ran out of good ones. So I've seen way many more low budget horror movies than I would ever care to admit.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of low budget stuff too, but
yeah,
it's crazy to think that we get so many like low budget kind of scary movies, but a lot of them are still good.
Yeah, a lot of them are definitely still good.
Yeah. But guys, I think that'll about wrap it up here for tonight. It was a really fun little stream here tonight. Thank you to everybody in the chat that joined us here tonight. And thank you, Sully, for being here.
Thanks for having me, my man.
Absolutely. And I do plan to have you back on soon to the channel. So
I passed the
I got
test,
you, man.
huh?
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
Yep. Let everybody know where they can find you, my friend, and what you got coming up on the channel.
Yeah, so actually, this is funny enough. There was one place on Twitter that I didn't have my handle of just at Sully Streams. I was messaging this kid over and over and over again saying, please, can I have Sully Streams? Eventually, he got back to me and he gave it to me. So, luckily, it's an easy answer that every social platform you can imagine Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Letterboxd, everything is just at Sully Streams. I'm always doing movie reviews, franchise rankings, out of theater reactions. I'm thinking I might try to do some watch along soon. I've never done that. So kind of looking forward to jumping into that at some point and going live. So yeah, that's where you can find me. Any place at Sully Streams.
Count me in for those watch-alongs, my guy. I do those pretty much all the time on my channel. Like,
yeah, I'm curious about kind of looking into them more and figuring out how I want to do it. I think they're a really cool idea, and I like seeing when other people do them. I don't tune into them that much, but I just like the idea of like talking during a movie. I mean, I have so many
yeah.
random facts in my head and stuff, so I'm like, maybe someone will find this interesting. Who knows?
Yes, for sure. But of course, you guys can also subscribe to my channel as well. Go follow my other social media links. Yeah, just of course traditional movie reviews and more episodes of the show coming your way very soon, including on Thursday with Vin, aka Hard Copy Blues, and then Friday Black Phone Watch Along. So keep your eyes peeled for that and much more, you guys. We'll see y'all in the next one. Yes, busy week. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night. Peace.